Hi everybody, I'm back for my week 4 video blog. This week I'm going to be talking about the process of moving overseas with the military. I've been wanting to make this video for a while to help other families that are moving overseas, so I'm just going to give a brief rundown of the timeline of what you should do and when. We were lucky enough to find out that we were moving to Korea about 9 months out from when we had to be here. So the first thing we did was make doctor's appointments at our clinic. When you move overseas, there's certain things that families have to get checked out, basically just to make sure that we don't have any chronic problems that are going to need special doctors. If there was a problem that they didn't have a doctor here for me for, the Army wants to make sure they're not going to send a family where there's not medical care for them. So doctor's appointments, get all the family members checked out, make sure immunizations are up to date about 8 months out. At 6 months out is really when the ball starts rolling. You're going to do what's called a levy briefing. Just the service member can go, or the family members can go too, and I definitely recommend that. They give you all kinds of information about your new duty station. They tell you how you're going to drive there, how to get your license, what housing is like, things like that. And that's your time to ask questions about what you need to be doing and about the area and things like that. So very important. This is also the time that you're going to apply for your no-fee passports. All family members need them and service members do not. You fill out the application just like normal, and then you're going to take it to your transportation office on the post. 6 months out is when you need to do this because it takes a while to get them back. You don't pay for them, but it's a government passport that you will need. The last thing you need to do at 6 months out is to make sure that your command sponsorship paperwork is turned in. For those of you that are civilians, obviously in this class, command sponsorship is what it's called when the family goes with the service member to an overseas location. If we were non-command sponsored, that means that the Army did not sponsor a family to come with our service member. This is very important that you get this in as soon as possible so that your husband or wife's future command has time to approve or deny the request. Assuming that the command sponsorship gets approved and the family is accompanying the service member to their next location, 3 months out is when you're going to want to book your flights through transportation. It's also when we schedule our household goods to be picked up. There are 3 different shipments that go out when you're going overseas. So you schedule all 3 of those for different days. You want to get that done ahead of time so that you get the day that you want. This is also when you need to make hotel reservations. For us, we needed a hotel when we moved out of our last house, so I had to make those reservations and make sure we had a room to move into after our household goods were gone. And I also needed to schedule a room at the hotel here in Korea because even though we're, coming in, we still have to schedule that room to make sure that they know we're coming. 1 month out is mostly, most families in the military take about a month of leave, so they have their household goods picked up a month early and send those all overseas, 3 different shipments, so that's about a week-long process. And then they'll go home and see their families and spend some time with them. And then the time comes for the big move, is what we call it. To get to Korea, it took us about 2 days total travel time. We flew Nashville to Seattle, stayed overnight in the airport in Seattle, and then Seattle to Japan, Japan to Korea. The whole process is very long. Our stuff wasn't even here yet when we got here. But I feel like the process was simplified because we prepared for it the best we could. We had a timeline like what I talked about, and we did the best we could to make a hard situation easier. So that's my brief rundown of a PCS overseas, and I hope that helps some other military families out there and tells you civilian families a little bit about what it's like for us. Thank you.